Okay, so we have completed 92 squares, roofing squares of a certainty roof shingle, architectural. I think they call it a hunter green. We replaced 500 feet of rotted wood. This is something that was unforeseen, but we had to replace all of the fascia on all of the entryways. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 in the back, 7, 2 in the far here. They're just going to become, we're just going to rip them right down and replace them. Too far gone. We covered them all with 3/4 inch plywood. Before we did that, we replaced the rotted plank, the existing rotted plank board as needed, which was a ledger board. You can see it right there. For instance, it was needed here. Over here was fine, but it was needed there. This side here was fine. This particular structure, we can replace the post for the carry here. And we're going to leave the post and we're going to carry a new beam in here. Once we did that, and in a lot of cases we needed to structurally add a 2x4 behind the fascia before we could continue. We're going to tuck point a flashing into the back of the brick. Nice and slow, and we'll clean the flashing. That'll be the complete project. We'll run the rubber up and under. You can see what we did here. We had to regrind everything. And what we used for the back flashing was the same thing that we used for the front, which was a standard 3x3 roof flashing, heavy gauge bronze. Now you can see on this is number 2. It was not necessary to replace any soffit here. However, we have to make a decision as to these kind of corners that are rotted. Do we take them all off, or do we take a portion of them off? We'll talk about it later. This one here is fine. So now this is number 3. Number 3, soffit was fine. Fascia needed to be replaced. This one looked worse than it was, and you can see we needed to prep the original board, roof board, before we added a piece of plywood. We're gonna need to replace the soffit here. I'm pretty sure both sides. Unfortunately, once it gets around the corner, it's really hard to do. We can do it. And what we're gonna do here that's different is we're gonna add a 6-inch gutter to the fascia, and then we're gonna have a drain pipe coming down both ends in the back. We're gonna have it up at its highest point. These roofs are pitched at 1.5 inches from the back to the front. So that was a design, I don't know if it was a design flaw or the way they thought it was going to work, but this is why it's rotten. What we're going to do is we're going to have our gutter up in the highest point it can go, and then to its lowest point in the back, which should compensate for that 1.5 inches. Water flowing from the front to the back. So number 4, soffit was fine. I believe that a painter can fix anything that needs to be done here. This one as well is going to be removed. Structurally it's sagging too much as far as the owner is concerned, and he's absolutely right. I really think that this was built this way to pitch the water in the back, but it is, the post is rotting, so we're going to take it all down. Now this is Recon with a